एक बार फिर से हैश डायग्राम थोड़ा रिवाइज कर दूं. Hash diagram, it is used to represent the poset in a geometrical form. To draw the hash diagram of the poset, first we find the covers of all elements. Then in a hash diagram, we we have the B is a cover of A. Then we represent the dot according dot of A below the dot of B, or you can say that we represent the dot of B above the dot of A. The second condition is that we join the two dots, means two elements, only if either of one is a cover of another. Okay, so using these two conditions, we draw the hash diagram. Okay, then now the next we have the lattice. Lattice, we define the lattice in a two method. The one is we define the lattice using the poset, and second we define the lattice using algebraic equations. Now to define the lattice using poset, we require the lower bound, upper bound, greatest lower bound, and least upper bound. So first we discuss the both bound, upper and lower. So first we have lower bound. So lower bound means if you have given any coset and one subset of that coset, then the element belongs to the coset and it is related to all elements of that subset, then that element is called lower bound of the that subset. Means if we have the A comma R be a coset and B is a subset of A, then X belongs to A is called lower bound of B if X related to Y for all Y belongs to B. Okay. See, if we have, take one example here. See, if we have the, we know that n comma d is a coset, right? N comma d is a coset. Okay. So if we consider here that B, the B is a B containing 8, 16, 20. Suppose we contain these three elements. Then, now which are the lower bounds? So n is a starting from positive 1 to infinite. Now we find the element which divides these three elements. So we know that the first by default the one is always divide the all elements. So here we know that one is divide 8, one is divide 16, one is divide 20. Okay, so we have here one is a lower bound of B. Okay, because 1 divides 8, 1 divides 16, 1 divides 20. Now, similar way, 2 is also divide 8, 2 divides 16, 2 divides 20. Okay, so that means 2 is also a lower bound. Okay, now similar way, any other element will divide the all three elements. We have any other element which divide the 8, 16 and 20. Write in chat box. We have any other element which divide the 8, 16 and 20. Yes, 4 divides 8, 4 divides 16, 4 divides 20. So here we have 4 is also a lower bound. So here for this set we have, for B we have 1, 2 and 4. These are the lower bound. Okay. After 4 we cannot take the 8 here because 8 is divide 8. 8 divides 16 but it does not divide 20. Okay. So we have the lower bounds are 1, 2 and 4. Okay. So these three are called lower bound of B. Okay. Now from the lower bound we define the greatest lower bound. Greatest lower bound means from all lower bound the greatest number we take as a greatest lower bound. The definition of greatest lower bound is, we have the if we have the A comma R is a poset, B is a subset of A, then X belongs to A is called greatest lower bound of B. If X is a lower bound of B, that means X is related to all elements of B. And second condition is, if we have any other lower bound A, then A is related to X. That means A here, X is a greatest lower bound, means greater number. Okay. Now see, here we have three lower bound, 1, 2 and 4. Now 1 divides the 4. Okay. 2 is also divide the 4 and 4 is divide 4. So that means the all lower bounds are divide 4. So 1 related to 4, 2 related to 4 and 4 itself related to 4. So here for this set we have 4 is GLB of B. Okay, greatest lower bound of B. Now we take the one more example. We have n comma less than equal to. Now in n comma less than equal to, the B is given here 4, 6, 8 and 10. So now write the lower bounds in a chat box. Which are the lower bounds of B? Write in chat box. Which are the lower bounds of B? Lower bounds means element which is related to all element of B. Here we have less than equal to relation, so that means elements which are less than or equal to the all elements of B. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, not only 2. Here we have the relation is less than equal to, not divides relation is given. Okay, so 1 is less than equal to less than 4. Here 1 is less than 4, 1 is less than 6, 1 is less than 8, 1 is less than 10. So 1 related to all 4 numbers, so 1 is a lower bound. 2 is also less than the this 4 numbers, so 2 is also lower bound. 3 is less than this 4 number, so 3 is also lower bound. 4 is equal to 4 and less than the 3 number, so 4 is also a lower bound. But 5, so 5 is greater than 4, so 5 does not relate it to 4, so 5 is not lower bound. Okay, so more than 4 value, they are not lower bound of B because they does not relate it to 4. Okay, so here we have lower bounds are 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now which one is a GLB, which is the greatest lower bound? Greatest lower bound means the remaining all lower bound are related to that lower bound. So here 1 is less than 4, 2 is less than 4, 3 is less than 4, and 4 itself less than equal to 4. So that means 1 related to 4, 2 related to 4, 3 related to 4, and 4 itself related to 4. So 4 is a greatest lower bound. Okay. So here we have GLB is a greatest. GLB is a 4. We take one more example. In last lecture, we discussed the S210, right? S210, T. S210 is a coset. Okay. So in a S210, if we take the set B, six, six, 30, 42. We have this three number in a B. Then which are the lower bound of B? You have to find the lower bound of B and then greatest lower bound of B. So lower bound means you have to find the number which are the number which divide these three numbers. So which are the lower bounds here? Just 1, 2, 3 only. Six does not divide. So here you have the lower bounds are 1 divides these three numbers. So 1, 2, 3, and 6 also. 6 divides 6, 6 divides 30, and 6 divides 42. So we have this 4 lower bounds. Now which one is the greatest lower bound? Which one is greatest lower bound? Greatest lower bound is 6, because 1 divides 6, 2 divides 6, 3 divides 6, and 6 itself divide 6. So here greatest lower bound is 6. If we take the set here, 30, 30 and 210. Suppose they contain only these two elements. Now, which are the lower bounds? Remember, we have to take the elements from S210, okay? Not from N. You have to take the elements from S210. Which are the lower bounds here? 30 and 210. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 15. Because इस बार भी 30 भूल गया. 30 भी आएगा ना. 30 divides 30 and 30 divides 210. So we have lower bounds are 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 10, 15, and 30. Which one is the greatest lower bound? Which is the greatest lower bound? Greatest lower bound. Two divides 30. 30 is the lower bound. So 30 is greater than 2. Here greatest lower bound is 30, because 1 divide 30, 2 divide 30, 3 divide 30, 5 divide 30, 10 divide, 6 divide 30, 10 divide 30, 15 divide 30, 30 itself divide 30. So therefore, the greatest lower bound is a 30. Now, P of A comma subset, we know that this is a coset. We take A equal to 4, 6, 8. Okay, A equal to 4, 6, 8. Now, if I take the B, be equal to 4, 4, 6, and A. And which are the lower bounds and which one is the greatest lower bound? So here you have to find the subset of A, which is a subset of singleton 4, double term 4 comma 6, and A itself. So which are the subset? We know that phi is a subset of all sets. So phi is a subset of singleton 4, phi is a subset of 4 comma 6, and phi is subset of A. The one lower bound is a phi. The second one is a singleton 4. The singleton 4 is a subset of singleton 4 itself. Then singleton 4 is a subset of 4 comma 6 and also A. The singleton 4 is also a lower bound. Okay. Any other element? So we have just two lower bound here. Okay, we cannot take the singleton 6. Singleton 6 is a subset of 4 comma 6 and A, but it is not subset of singleton 4. Okay, so singleton 6 is not a lower bound. Okay, so we have these two are lower bound. Now which one is a GLB? Which one is the greatest lower bound? Which one is a GLB here? Greatest lower bound. See, always GLB is from the lower bounds. So GLB is either a phi or singleton 4. But phi is a subset of singleton 4. So singleton 4 is a greater element compared to phi. So we have GLB is a singleton 4. So here GLB is singleton 4. तो अब इसमें आपको आंसर देना है सी. Take the elements 6 comma 8 and A. Now which are the lower bounds? Write the lower bounds in a checkbox. Write the lower bounds in chat box. आज हर्ष की बोलती बंद है भाई. अभी तक मैसेज दिया है हर्ष. So here phi is a subset of each set, so phi is in a lower bound. Then singleton 6. It is a subset of 2 terms 6 comma 8 at A. So it is the lower bound. Similar way, singleton 8 is also a subset of 2 terms 6 and 8, and it is a subset of A. So singleton 8 is also a lower bound. And 2 terms 6 comma 8, it is a subset of itself and A. So it is also a lower bound. So here you have 4 lower bounds. Okay. Here you got the 4 lower bounds. 5, singleton 6, singleton 8, and 2 terms 6 comma 8. These 4 are lower bounds because 5 is a subset of these two. Okay. Similar way, singleton 6 is a subset of these two. Singleton 8 is a subset of these two. And 2 terms 6 comma 8 is also a subset of both. So therefore, these 4 are lower bounds. Okay. Now, which one is the greatest lower bound from this 4? Which one is the greatest lower bound? The greatest lower bound is 2 terms 6 comma 8 because 5 is a subset of 6 comma 8. Singleton 6 is also a subset of 6 comma 8. Singleton 8 is a subset of 6 comma 8. So all 4 lower bound are subset of 6 comma 8. So it is a greatest lower bound. Okay. So your greatest lower bound is 6 comma 8. Okay. So we have greatest lower bound is 6 comma 8. Now next we have upper bound. So what is the upper bound? In a lower bound we have the elements in lower bound. The we say that x is a lower bound if x is a related to all elements of B. In upper bound we have all elements of B are related to x. Then x is called upper bound. Okay. So here A comma R be a coset, B is a subset of A, then x belongs to A is called upper bound of B if y related to x for all y in a B. Means all element of B are related to x. Okay. We take the same example which we have taken in a lower bound. That we have n comma D be a coset, and we take the B is a B will be a we have a 8, 16 and 20. Okay, we have taken a B equal to 8, 16 and 20. So now here, which one is the upper bound from n? So upper bound means 8, 16 and 20. These three numbers are divide that number. That number is called the upper bound. Okay. So for which number 8, 6, which number is divisible by 8, 16 and 20? Which number is divisible by 8, 16 and 20? Suppose you have given in a fraction, in a denominator, suppose given 8, 16 and 20. then for addition or subtraction, first what you find? अगर डिनोमिनेटर में ये दिया हो 2 and 4 are divide the 8, 16 and 20. I am saying that 8, 16 and 20 किस नंबर को डिवाइड करें? तो उसके लिए आप क्या करोगे? चलो थोड़ा सीधा पूछता हूँ, शायद याद आ जाए. 3 upon 8 minus 5 upon 16 plus 7 upon 20. इसको सॉल्व करना है तो क्या करोगे? पहले एलसीएम लेंगे ना. एलसीएम मतलब ऐसा नंबर जो तीनों से डिविजिबल है, तो वही काम यहाँ पे करना है. तो डिविजिबिलिटी रिलेशन दिया है और हमें अपर बाउंड फाइंड करनी है, तो पहले एलसीएम ले लो. द एलसीएम इज 8, 16 and 20. तो उसका एलसीएम क्या होगा? एलसीएम फाइंड करने के लिए आपको 8th 10th स्टैंडर्ड में एक मेथड करवाई थी. वो मेथड क्या है? दैट राइट हियर 8, 16 and 20. Then first we divide by 2. So here 4, 8, 10. Again divide by 2. So you got the 2, 4, 10, 5. Then again take the division by 2. So here 2, here 1, here 2, here 5. Then again take the division by 2. So you got the here 1, here 5. Then take the division by 5. So the element is a 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 means 16. 16 into 5, 80. So 80 is a LCM. So here upper bound is a 80. सिर्फ 80 आएगा या और भी आएंगे? 80 के अलावा और किसी नंबर को डिवाइड करता है? ये तीनों नंबर और किसी नंबर को डिवाइड करेंगे? एटी के बाद कोई नंबर आएगा अपर बाउंड में कि या नहीं आएगा? 160. उसके बाद ये सारे नंबर 80 के सभी मल्टीपल को डिवाइड करेंगे. ठीक है, तो 160, then 240, then 320 and so on, because n is a not bounded above. मतलब n फाइनाइट नहीं है तो अपर बाउंड जो है वो भी इनफाइनाइट मिलेगी. ठीक है, n में 80 के मल्टीपल जितने भी होंगे वो सारे अपर बाउंड्स में आएंगे. ठीक है, so these all are upper bounds. Now which one is the least upper bound? We have the upper bound. Now we find the least upper bound. Least upper bound means here we have a comma r is a coset, b is a subset, and x belongs to a. It is called least upper bound of b if x is the upper bound of b. The second condition is if you take the any upper bound a, then x is related to a. Okay, in a greatest lower bound we have the a is related to x, but here we require the least number, so therefore we take x is related to a. So in this all upper bounds, okay, for this all upper bounds 80 is a divide, 160 80 divides 240. Okay, 80 divides 320, and so on. So therefore, list upper bound is a 80. Okay, list number from the upper bound is 80. Take the one more example, the same which one we take in a less than equal to form, that n is less than equal to the poset. B is given a 4, 6, 8 and 10. So which are the upper bounds here? We have less than relation. So that means here we have less than relation. So which are the upper bounds here? Upper bounds means a number which numbers which are greater than the all numbers of B. So here we start with the 10. 10 is greater than 4, means 4 is less than 10, 6 is less than 10, 8 is less than 10, and 10 itself less than equal to 10. Okay, we write the 10 less than equal to 10. So here 4 related to 10, 6 related to 10, 8 related to 10, and 10 itself related to 10. So we start with the 10 and 11, 12 up to infinite. So we have the upper bounds are 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, so on. Okay. Now from this all, which one is the least upper bound? So for least upper bound, the 10 is least number. So 10 is less than 11, 10 is less than 12, 12 is less than 13, and so on. So 10 is related to all upper bounds. So therefore 10 is a least upper bound. Okay, so LUB is a 10. Okay. Now we take the same example which we take for a lower bound as 210 comma D, and we have taken a B equal to 6, 30 and 42, right? And in a C we have taken only two elements, 30 and 42. But here in place of 30 and 42 we take here we take 5, 15, 5, 10, 15 and 30. Okay. So here what is the upper bound and least upper bound? So which one are upper bound for a 6, 30 and 42? B के लिए कौन सी आएगी upper bounds? So from S210, only one element will have 210. Okay, where 6 is divides 210, uh, 30 divides 210, and 42 divides 210. So we have only one upper bound here, that is a 210. Okay, so here we have only one upper bound. So least upper bound is a 210 itself. Okay. Now what about C? C के लिए upper bounds क्या होगी? Hers 150 is not in a S210. You have to take the elements from S210 only. So which are the upper bound for C? क्या हुआ? कोई और आंसर ही नहीं दे रहा है. डिवीजन ही करना है और क्या करना है? S210 के एलिमेंट्स तो आप सबको पता है, लास्ट लेक्चर में ही हमने डिस्कस किया था. S210 उसको उसके हैश डायग्राम भी ड्रॉ किया था. ठीक है. तो in C, 5 divides 30, 10 divides 30, 15 divides 30, 30 itself divides 30. So 30 is also a lower bound, sorry, upper bound. Then the if we take the LCM here, okay, then we have 5, LCM is a 30 itself. Then 30 into 2, 60, 60 is not in a S210. 30 into 3, we have 90. 90 is also not in a S210. Okay. Then 30 into 4, it is a 120. 120 is not in a 210. 30 into 5, 150. 150 is also not in a 210. 30 into 6, 180. 180 is also not in a 210. 30 into 7, 210. It is all in a S210. So 210 is also a upper bound. Okay. Then the number which are greater than S210, means number which is greater than 210, it is not in a S210. So we stop here. So we have two upper bound 30 and 210 in a S210. Okay, S210 के एलिमेंट्स तो सबको पता है ना, 1 2 3 5 6 7 10, then 14 15, then 21, then 30, 35, 42, then 70, 105, and 210. Okay, we have these are the elements of S210. So from these elements we have 30 and 210. So all elements of C are divides 30 and 210. So these two are upper bound of C. Now which one is the least upper bound? Which one is the least upper bound? From this two, which is a least upper bound? Least upper bound means upper bound which is divides the all other upper bound. So which one is the least upper bound? 30. Okay, because 30 is divides 30 and 30 divides 210. So your least upper bound is a 30. Okay. Now we take the same example P of A comma subset A is a 2 sorry A is a 4 6 and 8. We have taken a B equal to singleton 4, then two terms 4 and 6 and A, and C will be a, here we change the C, just we take the C equal to 4 6 4 8 and 4 8. Now which are the upper bounds here? For B, which are the upper bounds? B के लिए अपर बाउंड कौन सी होगी, मतलब कौन सा सबसेट ऐसा मिलेगा A का जो B के सभी सेट उसके सबसेट हो, B में जितने भी सेट है वो सारे किस सेट के सबसेट होंगे? फाइव सिंगलटन 4 कहाँ से फाइव का सबसेट होगा यार? सिंगलटन 8 कहाँ से? वो सॉरी, टू टर्म्स 4 and 6 वो कहाँ से फाइव का सबसेट होगा? We are not finding the lower bound. In lower bound, we find that set which is a subset of these three sets, which are given in a B. Here we find the set such that this three is a three. These three are subset of that set. Yes, A only, because singleton 4 is a subset of A. Two terms 4 comma 6 is a subset of A, and A itself subset of A. So here upper bound is only one element, capital A itself. Okay. So LUB is a, here we have only one upper bound, so it is a itself list upper bound. Now for C, which are the upper bounds? For C, which are upper bounds? और इस बार सिर्फ अकेला स्मिथ आंसर नहीं देना चाहिए, सबको देना है। सी के लिए कौन सी अपर बाउंड्स आएगी? में ज्यादा होगा, एक नहीं आएगी, एक से ज्यादा मिलेगी। सी की अपर बाउंड्स कौन सी होगी? So here 4,8. So 4,8. Here 4 is a subset of 4,8. 8 is a subset of 4,8, and itself 4,8 is a subset of 4,8. So the upper bound is a 4,8. Then these all are subset of A. So A is also a upper bound. Now list upper bound. So here list upper bound is, so here 4,8 is a subset of A. It cannot be a subset of 4,8. So 4,8 is a list number. So it is a list upper bound. Okay, because 4,8 is a subset of A. Okay, so list upper bound is a 4,8. Okay. तो अब दोनों साथ में लेते हैं, अपर बाउंड और लोअर बाउंड। अभी तक हमने सम्स किए, वो अपर बाउंड और लोअर बाउंड डिफरेंटली लिए, अब साथ में करते हैं। S90, D. This is a poset. Okay, S90, D is a poset. Now, तो S90 की जगह हम यहाँ पे N ले लेते हैं, तो थोड़ा हो जाएगा। N, D is a poset. Now we said take the B equal to 16, 24, and 30. 16, 24, and 30. Then which are the lower bounds? Greatest lower bound, upper bounds, and least upper bound. ये चारों फाइंड करने हैं. पहले मुझे बी के लोअर बाउंड्स लिख के दो चेक बॉक्स में. बी की लोअर बाउंड्स. Which one is a lower bound? Just 1 and 2? Just 1 and 2 are divides the 16, 24, and 30. Not other. So here the in this tray, if you want to find the lower bound and upper bound, then simplest method is 16 means we know that 2 raised to 4. 24 means it is a 2 raised to 3 into 3, and 30 means 2 into 3 into 5. Okay, so here say the common element is a we have 2 raised to 1 in all three. The common element, the greatest uh, GCD is a greatest common divisor is a 2. So we have the LUB is a 1 and 2 only. Okay. Now this 2, 1 divides 2. So 2 is a greater number. So GLB is a 2. Now we require the upper bound. So for upper bound, we find the LCM. So here 2 raised to 4. The LCM is a, we have LCM is 2 raised to 4 into 3 into 5. So 16 into 5, 80. 80 into 3, 240. Okay, 16 into 5, we have 80. 80 into 3, 240. So upper bound is 240. Then 240 into 2, 480. Then 240 into 3, we have 720. Okay, and so on. Now here 240 divides the all multiple. So 240 is a least upper bound. Okay, so this way you can find the easily the lower bound, upper bound, and least upper bound and latest lower bound. Okay, now we take the P of A, comma subset relation, where A is A, B, C, and D. Now, if we take the set B here, which contain B and BD, these two elements. Now, which are the lower bounds? Then greatest lower bounds, greatest lower bound, upper bounds, and least upper bound. Write in chat box. Y, singleton B, singleton D. ABC कहाँ से आ गया भाई? जानवी? लोअर बाउंड मतलब आपको ऐसे सेट्स फाइंड करने हैं जो बी के सभी सेट के सबसेट हो. ठीक है, तो बी में दिया है सिंगलटन बी एंड सिंगलटन डबल टर्म बी कॉमा डी. So we know that phi is a subset of each sets. So here we have phi is a subset of singleton B and phi is a subset of B comma D. Then if we take the singleton B, then singleton B is also a subset of singleton B and singleton double term B comma D. Okay, we have these two are the lower bound. The singleton D, it is not in a upper bound because it is not subset of singleton P. Okay, so we have just two lower bound. Now, which one is a greatest lower bound? Which one is the greatest lower bound? Greatest lower bound कौन सी होगी? Singleton P. So here greatest lower bound is singleton or upper bound. Now find out the upper bounds. अपर बाउंड में कौन सी आएगी? कौन से एलिमेंट्स आएंगे? Upper bound is are two terms B comma D because singleton B is a subset of two terms B comma D. Then this is also a subset of itself. Here, if we take the A comma B comma D, then these two are subset of this. Then we have A comma not A, B comma C comma D. Then again, singleton B is a subset of this. Double terms B comma D is also a subset of this, and A. So we have this four upper bound. Which one is the least upper bound? Which one is least upper bound? From this four upper bound, which one is the least upper bound? The least upper bound, two terms, B comma D. With A is a greatest number. A is a greatest number of the set, okay, of the coset. So here the LUB is a double terms B comma D. Okay. So we have this way we can find the upper bound, lower bound, uh, greatest lower bound and least upper bound. Okay. Once again, I just recall the definitions. The lower bound means element of the coset which is related to all elements of the subset. That element is called lower bound of that subset. From the all lower bounds, the lower bound, the all lower bounds are related the one lower bound. That lower bound is called greatest lower bound. Okay. From the all lower bounds, the all lower bounds are related to the one lower bound. That one lower bound is called greatest lower bound. Then in a poset, the all element of the subset are related to the element of the poset. That element is called upper bound. Okay, all element of the subset is related to the one element from the poset. That element is called upper bound. Now, from all upper bounds, uh, one upper bound is related to the remaining all upper bound. That upper bound is called least upper bound. Okay, so we have this four definition. Now we take the practice from assignment.